Steve?
Yeah, he had to go to his wife's wedding or something.
No. He's talking about Belfry. What?
You're thinking of Steve. What about Lou?
Lou has his wife's in town. They're gonna have their little rap tonight. So.
Maybe he won't be so pleasant next time we see him.
I don't know if he's coming back.
You want us to say anything?
Anything?
Right.
Yes, I do, and I lost it all the way back there. Can I go back and get it?
Sure. Right,
Hey,
you
pull
know,
that door shut, Paul.
Why not?
say anything you
Pull
want
it
to.
shut.
Yeah. sounds good.
Hey! Hey!
Yeah,
Don't forget
that's
it.
good.
Pat. Look at this dude.
Almost tape it on that. Would that be better? On that one?
Oh no, this is a great tape
Okay.
recorder.
Okay.
Wow, some of your vocals are really great. That's that tune about cigarettes. What is that about? That's like cigarettes. You got really.
Yeah, that's what we went on.
Yeah, that wasn't even on the list, too. I looked at that clock, I thought it
Is
said
he gonna be
22,
taping
it
this
said
too?
10.
No, he's just brought his deck back. We taped their show tonight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did.
Well, should we start this mess?
Go ahead.
Okay, the first thing we should do is just go around, say your name, what instrument you play, whatever else you want to say about yourself. Let's start here.
Oh, is it on now?
Yeah, it's on right now.
My name's Chris Mars. I play drums.
Robert Stenson and I play guitar.
Carl Westerberg, I played tuba.
Tom Stenson, I play bass.
Griff.
Okay, you guys got an album coming out, if I'm not mistaken. It's on Twin Tone. When's that going to be out?
No real projected release date. I think it's just going to be pretty much, when it's right, it comes out.
What's on it?
What's on it?
Yeah.
They got
Stuff to
lots
play
of stuff to
tonight.
choose from. Sure, probably all those.
Yeah, all the ones you heard tonight and more.
Except Trouble Boys, Slow Down, the two covers aren't going to be on it.
What influences do you guys have musically? I don't know. We can start, if you guys want to do this, by instruments. Who influences? We can start with drumming.
I don't know. I suppose. I can't really say Keith Moon's probably my favorite, but I don't really know if he influences me.
What you do listen to?
He's my favorite drummer. Was.
How about the guitar?
Bob likes Yes.
Matches are my influence.
Matches.
Yeah.
Matches.
I always had drums like Matches.
Bob sounds like Wayne Lemon.
Wayne Kramer, if you
Yeah.
I'm a Kramer.
MC5.
Yeah. How about bass? Who do you listen to?
Lots of stuff. Like what bands or
Yeah, what bass players, what bands,
what bass player do I
Rick
like?
James.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious? I don't know.
No.
No. What's the guy from the Clash?
Paul Simonon.
Yeah, Paul Simon.
Yeah.
He's probably my favorite.
I don't know, it's a bit of that sound in there, the Clash. Another sound. Your group sounds a bit like the Clash. That's one influence I heard. Another one I heard is real early Beatles, stuff like Dizzy Miss Lizzy.
That's gotta be seen.
That's Larry Williams.
Yeah, Larry Williams, Slow Down. But I don't know. Just if I hadn't heard Slow Down, I probably wouldn't have got this. But hearing Slow Down, I started to listen to this as I would other really early Beatles tracks, and it's there, the same sound. Why is that? Who writes the original stuff?
All of us. He does most. Paul does most.
Uh-huh.
But we all
comes up
help.
with the
How do
basic
you write
parts
it?
and words, and then we just put our little stuff in here and there.
It's like he comes up with the tunes and the band arranges those so,
Yeah.
as a whole.
What gets you to write, Paul? What gets you to write? Why do you write?
Something to do.
Don't ask why.
Shut up.
You sit down. Something's got to tell you. Okay, I've got a song. I
Well,
want
if
to
I
write.
hear something cool, or if I read something that inspires me,
Uh-huh.
or hear a good band or something.
What kind of stuff does that to you? What has this, lately? What has been the inspiration? What's it looking like?
Lately, not too much.
AC/DC.
Yeah, I like AC/DC. They're my favorite band. If I had to say it right now. Stupid and loud and simple.
Who chooses the covers?
Everybody.
Uh-huh. Okay, the only one that I saw tonight was Larry Williams. I didn't catch any others. Were there any others tonight?
Trouble Boys, Rock Pile.
Rock Pile? Okay, well, how do you go through a process of saying, well, let's play Slow Down and let's play Troubles?
Well, if we have the records, we'll do them. We won't go out and buy a record just to do it. You know, we look through our records, see what we have. If it sucks, that's all we got. We'll do it anyway.
We usually do it our own way, not too worried about getting it copied.
Especially like Slow Down is definitely, you don't know.
One of us knows that.
Like he said,
Don't
Paul
know
said,
enough yet.
his friend of mine asked Paul once, you know, where they learned their arrangement of Slow Down, and he said that none of the rest of the band had ever heard it. He just heard it on the radio and remembered it from that, and so they just, you know, punted and went through. Like, you know, he doesn't sing most of the, you know, the right words or whatever, but that's, you know, who cares?
Yeah. It's all high energy stuff though that you play out there. And a guy was with my engineer who's not with me now. He had to take off though, but he's produced a lot of bands. And what he said is, you guys play like a band that doesn't want to be playing in bars for too much longer.
No.
I like that. That sounds good. That's true.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Where do they go next?
Garages.
Back to the basement.
Basement bar garage.
No, what? Where are you going after the bars? Where do you think the replacements are going to be?
Other cities.
Well,
Other cities?
it's for the garden on the third, I think. Or am I mistaken?
Is the album gonna? What's gonna make it? What's gonna take you out of the bars? Or what's gonna be the album?
What do we do after that, really?
Really? How
Where
good
else is there to go, though? I mean, you know, fuck, who wants to play civic centers and stuff, you know? I mean,
That's a lot of money to be.
well, yeah,
We
but I
probably
mean,
sound
still.
like a historic park in a big arena.
Person down here.
So you don't want to play arena rock. Well, how big? Okay, if you don't want to play arena rock, how big do you want to make it? I mean, where do you want to go then if you're not going to?
It's not like, I don't think it's like they don't want it. It's just like, you know, that's,
Never really planned
you know, I think clubs is where, you know, the best music happens. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing bars. You know. Hopefully you just, you know, play to larger audiences. You know.
God, we're still in this.
But what is the dream? There's got to be a dream. Everyone that picks up, I used to play drums in a garage band. And, you know, every time you pick up those sticks, you can just see yourself in front of 50,000 screaming fans that are, you know, trying to tear up your clothes. What are the dreams? What do you got? I mean, ideally, what are the dreams of the members of the band of the Replacements? What do you guys want to be?
Era.
Not stars.
New era.
Change the mainstream of music and girls, money.
That's the dream.
How are you going to get to that dream?
Left, Jonathan.
So what do you think your best original songs are? And let's talk about that. At some point, we're going to be mixing in music and we'll be taking cuts out of the interview and stuff and putting it all together and trying to make a program out of it. What are the best cuts? I've got a tape from you and a couple tapes. What are the best cuts, you guys, and who wrote them? Let's talk a bit about some of the individual songs. Stuff that I heard tonight that I like. Johnny's Gonna Die.
Yeah.
Who wrote
We all
that?
came up with that one.
Okay.
It all comes up with the words and the basic chords, and then we
all
say, hey, let's do this here and this here, and then it
Falls together.
That one he wrote the day after Johnny Thunders played here.
Yeah.
Thunders was such a mess that he went home and wrote a song called Johnny's Gonna Die.
Yes.
kind of story behind that.
Okay, Off Your Pants. Is that-
Yeah.
Dedicated to
Dedicated to Lucy. What about it now?
Let's talk about that song. What do you think about it? How'd you write it?
I don't know, we just played the chords. I need something to shout out, so I said, yeah, bye. So there's no, you know, premeditation to it. We just played the chords and shouted the first words that came out, you know, sound okay, so.
It's fast, short, and wild, and it kind of sounds good.
That's a lot of your songs there. They're short, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Less
some
than
of
2
them
minutes.
barely
I mean.
make a minute.
We got 3 good ones.
Here we go. What are the other ones? Okay, let me talk.
Those 3?
Okay, did I pick 2 of the 3 or?
No. There's one, something to do, taking a ride and let me to ride it. Those are about until we practice again.
I like Don't Ask Why.
Oh, yes.
I do too.
I think Don't Ask Why. I think that new one that he did, I'm in Trouble, that's one of my faves. I think that's great.
We'll get that one down together.
It sounded real good.
What's
tonight.
your other one anyway?
Uh,
You had 2 tours.
Fuck that shit.
Okay, how about Love Me Till Friday? How's that? What's the story?
Friday.
What's it about? How'd you write it? Whoever wrote it.
Girls wanting to be my wife.
That's right. Girls are paying the ass, you know. They try to be your wife. So love till Friday and goodbye.
It's like I think these these really pointed questions are really sort of hard to answer. 'Cause,
Yeah, they are.
I don't I think things sort of like sort of fall together for these guys rather than that they sit around and rehearse and
Sounds like
plan
you
it.
guys-
It's just like they come up with something
For a lot
basic
of
and it's arranged in a
Makes
casual
sense.
way.
Sounds like you guys.
and then they
have
kick ass on stage.
Just do them your own way. You
Yeah.
just pick a tune and say, well, it's you're trying. And,
That's a lot of it.
then it's formed something really good. It's a lot of energy, man. A lot more than other bands I've heard play first here. Just a lot of
You guys got okay. I've been seeing a lot of bands lately because of this show, and one thing I've been missing up until tonight were leads, especially guitar leads.
Who all did you watch?
Bands don't do a lot of
Yeah,
leads.
a really nice on the
Yeah.
last tune. Or no, the second to last tune.
Raised in the city.
Oh,
Music attack, you know, it's like everything.
What I always wanted to be. Why were they all good?
Yeah, I like them a lot.
I have that on my.
How long have you guys been playing together?
It's about a year now.
Yeah,
All
year?
4 of us. Me, Chris, and Bob were together for like 3 years.
Yeah, just messing around, not getting nowhere.
Dog breath.
We had 2 other groups in our band.
5. Don't mention their names.
Eventually we got rid of them and got a little Paul and
2 drummers, 2 singers, and a guitar player.
I played guitar when I first joined this band. Switched to drums.
You kind of one thing I noticed about your drum is you hunch over your set. Your stool's a lot higher than
Makes
a lot
great
of players.
faces.
Yeah, you make great faces. Why do you do that? What, is that
important
just
in a band.
natural?
Gotta make great faces.
I don't take it too seriously.
Why do you hunt? What gave you the idea to just to jack up the seat a little bit?
I don't know. I can control my foot pedal a little faster probably. That's the main reason. I don't know. No special reason.
Yeah. The bass playing is also real fast too.
Huh?
The bass playing is also, I think, you play pretty fast.
You moved a lot, too.
Yeah, you didn't move around a lot.
It's great.
Thanks.
Well, what comes to you? I mean, what's when you go on stage? What goes through your mind? Because you are jumping around a lot. Your fingers are moving real fast for a bass player.
Not really. Except that I want to have fun. Make
Yeah.
the night worth it.
Do you have a lot of fun when you play?
Oh, yeah. Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
Do you have trouble? Do any of you guys have trouble? You guys, how many nights a week do you play now? Is for an
Practice.
audience?
Sometimes.
We don't
We haven't
practice.
been practicing for the last 3 months.
Well, they had
We got
they had
some stuff.
equipment
Yeah,
stolen
we got
out
some
of this
stuff.
room right here, so that kind of put the damper on practicing.
1 month.
So we've been having to borrow equipment, and the only time we practice is when we play.
How many nights a week are you playing now?
Check our stuff.
About one.
We can check our stuff.
Do you ever have any trouble just getting
Yeah.
the energy? Because you guys are so high energy and it's so fast. Do you guys, I mean, how do you get up for it? I mean, it's just what.
Usually when I
Just go ahead, Bob.
Besides those, we can't talk about those.
when I get off work, I'm mad and aggravated because punch things. Sometimes I play, it all
See,
comes out.
Bob's sick of the restaurant. He's been working for 5 years.
I'm a cook.
Well, I'm a cook too. Cook with
All
Great
right,
Expectations
I-
restaurant.
Mom Lois is on the West Bank.
Uh-huh.
I'm second to the best.
But what did you come for the rest of you guys? I mean, what goes through your mind when you go on stage? It's got to be some sort of exhilaration. You get up there, it's got to be great.
It is sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's frustrating too when you're trying your best and it seems like the people don't give a shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then you'll try harder, but you lose like the the music part of it, then it's all just anger kind of sometimes.
What kind of audience response do you usually get? You got a pretty warm response tonight.
That's all. I thought it was kind of for myself.
I thought it was a dead
There weren't a
audience.
lot of
People
people up
didn't-
front getting
Yeah.
into it. which
But
is
they
all
got
bad.
into it.
It seemed like people came in.
It's
like
a suburbs
band
crowd.
showed.
Every time we go to the suburbs, it's always the same.
Yeah.
And the crowds far away from the
That's
band.
true.
In the 7th Street, everything's so pushed together, and it's just all kind of goes together a lot better.
Well, that's like where you guys are in your element, though. I mean, that's the right bar for. I mean, not that this is the wrong bar, but it's
I
a.
don't
like it there.
I like the 7th Street way better.
I think the best time,
I do
the
too.
best times these guys played for me was the Caboose.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just think both times they played there twice, and both times it's just, I don't know if it's because the crowd is so different or
Performance,
it's like, I mean, we got tapes of both nights, and they're just.
It's the lights. They don't have lights, so you can see the people's faces, and the stage is like 2 feet higher than this one. So you're higher up, and you can see the people looking at you like if they're bored, and it just, it drives you that much more.
Yeah.
What if they're getting into it or something?
They had a real good night too. They played that tape that maybe used some stuff from during your program that was taped in Duluth, and that was real weird because they were real nervous because there was all these people crowded right at the front of the stage and they weren't used to that. And I think they played really good that night and ended up the set ended 15 minutes early because during I Hate Music, Paul smashed his guitar into 2 pieces and walked off stage. Actually, he smashed it into 2 pieces, sang the last verse, and walked off stage.
Let's talk about that because we've got that on tape. I think we'll probably play that because it sounds really exciting. Why did you smash your guitar?
The
I
people.
bet you I know why.
Why is that?
Alright.
Like Paul.
When we came out there, we were looking around and we looked at the people, and there's a lot of young people, and they were just kind of skating around. We figured, they wouldn't pay much attention to us. But as soon as we got up on stage, they just kind of all of a sudden turned and rushed up in the front, totally surprised us. That kind of thing. From then on, we just kind of went nuts. It's like they helped us. They pushed our adrenaline up a couple notches.
And that was a big deal too because that was the first time that.
And another thing is because the people out there aren't, really.
They were
into
young. A lot of them like
Yeah,
14,
they
15,
don't-
never saw a band before.
Yeah, they haven't had much of the city experience or anything like that, so I figured we'd give them a little taste or whatever after that stuff to work in my mind.
Plus, it was a real fun trip. It was the only time they've gone out of town so far, and it was a gas, just driving up there, kind of, sort of little community in the truck on the way up, and people goofing off, and
Really fun.
it was I think the guitar broke or started to come apart accidentally, and then he just.
After I hit it with the mic stand once, twice.
It's accidentally started.
And I went crazy. I just all of a sudden looked and I thought this man is an animal. All of a sudden he was like peeling this guitar off and just hammered it into the stage. It was really cool. And all these kids, like he was saying, they weren't, there was no liquor and stuff. Well, we snuck it in, but, most of them didn't have it. And
Something like
they-
the Archies.
all of a sudden he just broke this fucking guitar in half and all these kids just went, oh my God.
We
It's
kinda-
like stuff you read about seeing The Who or something.
And we kind of crawled behind the stage.
And they're all just standing
Just
there.
kind
And plus everybody was roller skating while they were playing, and that was really strange.
You get
Going
dizzy
90
watching that?
miles an hour on the range.
That's
I
weird.
did.
So, you guys, is the album recorded now? Or is it?
Starting
Some of
to.
the tracks, huh?
Starting
The
to.
tracks are done, but
What they've done is they've done 2 sessions. 34 basic tracks are on tape, and they got to do overdubs, like putting vocals on. There's a couple of tracks that are semi-finished that you've got here.
Yeah.
19 of the tracks were done on an 8-track recording situation
Blackberry,
at
yeah.
Blackberry Way, and then 15 were done on the 24-track twin-tone mobile unit, which Sam's was polite enough to let us in on a Saturday afternoon, and they kicked out 15 songs on a 30-minute tape. There's 15 songs, and that turned out real cool.
Yeah.
I think probably the album's going to be finished on 8-track, and I have the idea that they should put 22 songs on the album because the first Wire album had 21 songs, and I think they should one-up them.
22.
Still haven't beat the Residents.
there'll be no groove from one song to the other.
The Residents have nothing to do with this group at all.
Yeah. I guessed that a while ago.
Although you think we can sound like Artful Dodge. I haven't heard them.
Okay.
You gotta let me borrow that album.
I think they sound like, you know, there's some Heartbreakers in them, you know,
Yeah.
Johnny Thunders.
I think another thing, we don't
Not to be
really-
mistaken for Tom Petty's Heartbreakers, of course.
We don't promote the new wave by wearing ties and mixing our hair too much stuff for Tom.
Fuck you.
We don't really care.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you know, jeans and
How commercial are you guys? I mean, what kind of sacrifice?
Not very.
You don't think so?
Huh?
You don't see
Well,
any
what's-
commercial. I mean, you guys don't see your songs being played on the radio or.
Sure.
well, if they
That's the
want,
point.
if they want to play them, I mean, great. But I don't.
I can't
I
picture.
don't really picture our songs.
Yeah, it's
Well, some of them, I think, you know, Love You Till Friday, Don't Ask Why, those songs are, you know, real compatible. But like commerciality is, you know, I mean, the people come to you, you know, it's not like, I mean, these guys aren't sitting around trying to figure out what people want to hear, they're just popping out songs.
Is someone going to come to you?
What's that?
Has someone come to you already? Have you guys had any interest at all from outside or?
Sure, tons. There's going to be a cover story issue after next on Sweet Potato.
Yeah.
KFAI did a broadcast last week from 7th Street Entry.
Which is really horsey crap.
They've had 2 articles written about them. The program director at KDWB came down and saw them, and after the first set ran up and said, you know, he thought these guys were really hot, and he said, anytime you want them on the radio, bring me a tape or record, anything you want, they're on, you know, which is what those 2 studio tracks were kind of polished up for. The album is going to be called, by the way, it's going to be called Sorry Mom, Forgot to Take Out the Trash.
How much fun you guys having now?
Lots.
Lots of fun,
You can't be in it for the money
yeah. No,
because you're not
no.
playing enough
There
right
isn't
now.
any.
We could care less about money. There ain't none anyway.
You get pretty good pay at 7th Street.
Yeah,
They
but
make good dough there.
In the future,
Not
of course,
here.
money would be great, but right now, yeah, it's just,
How long can you guys keep playing for fun?
As long as we die, until we die.
You know, it's going to be fun forever, I think, you know.
Yeah.
10 years, 20, 5
it'll be
years.
fun until we all get arthritis.
You don't see it becoming a drag though at some time in the future.
I don't think they'd do it if it became a drag.
You know, it's bound to change. If you were to be successful, I suppose the pressures would be more, you know, and heavy and touring and all that shit.
We're still trying to have fun though.
It'll always be fun if it is like fun.
What's the
I don't think we'll ever do anything with the mainstream wants us to do. I mean, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't seem like it. I couldn't picture this band falling.
The only way that'd happen if you got, you know, maybe if you got found into some sort of agreement that you didn't understand that you entered into or something. Other than that.
well, what's the best thing that's happened to you so far? Like,
Had the REM blown up.
Probably the thing with Twin Tone, we just gave them our tape and they, you know, we just gave them the tape to play down here, gave it to Peter, and he, you know, called back and asked if this was an audition for Twin Tone Records or for just, you know, to play in the bar, and I was, you know, we were knocked out because we thought, you know, we had no idea that it'd be worthy of recording, so, what do you know?
That was a strange situation too, because they, you know, I saw them play the first time they played down here, kind of helped them get a date, and I went to see them, and I thought, you know, they couldn't possibly be as good as what this tape indicated, and they were, I mean, amazing. I thought they just went crazy, and the first thing that happened was that it started to look like they were going to get pushed around by the, you know, the creeps that book bands around town, and so it was just like, at one point, Hartley kind of cornered Paul and was, you know, laying into him about, you know, bookings and stuff, and, you know, said, did he have to talk to me every time, you know, he wanted to book him, and Paul said, yeah, and so we got, you know, a nice healthy little relationship going, and, you know,
hardly can't be intimidating.
Yeah.
it was just a safety, you know, move, you know, because, you know, I didn't really, you know, need something else to do. I, you know, got a pretty full-time job and stuff, but I just thought, you know, these guys were too good to get pushed around. You know, I mean, that'll sound nasty. I just mean, you know.
Okay, you gotta have, every time you turn on stage, something strange always happens. What are some of the weirdest things that have happened when you play this on stage?
Well, once we were in tune, and Bob remembered the chords, and there's
One time we were all out of tune and not in.
Do you guys ever have any problems with audience numbers? Because it's we have people who watch the stage. You know, it's great, but how about down here? I mean, do you ever have any cases of just people getting a little too friendly, or?
Once a guy with a issue in his cheek asked me if I stepped on him. I said, no. This guy's job done.